Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So before I put on any makeup, I always have a bottle of hand sanitizer just to kind of keep things like sanitary and clean. And then I always like to use some hand lotion. I feel like during the day I'm always like touching things or like cleaning or shopping, so I just feel like whenever I get ready, this is the only time my hands are moisturized. And I've been washing my hands a lot recently, so my hands have been kind of like patchy and dry. I think it's like 3 years old now. This is my Simply Posh On the Bright Cider, and this basically smells like cinnamon and apples, and I literally have... The bottle's pretty empty, but I think I have this much left. But I'm probably gonna end up putting it in my empties bag. So I'm gonna be using my vitamin C today. Okay, so I have on my moisturizer and my eye primer, and then I'm also gonna be taking my NYX Blur Sunscreen 30 SPF primer. And I don't think I've used this before. I found it in my bathroom. Maybe I used it once, but many months ago. So I'm just going to use that today. I have a lot of like open products, and sometimes I will use them once and then forget to use them. And recently I've been kind of organizing everything in my bathroom and my bedroom, just because I have like stuff laying around and I keep losing things. I put this on because I'm trying to get into the habit of like wearing sunscreen. I always wear sunscreen during the summertime, but you're supposed to be using it like every day, even in the wintertime. I actually do have to get more sunscreen because I'm out of the one I was using. I think I have like 3 or 4 bottles of sunscreen, but there's like a very little bit in each one. Because my husband uses it and he will sometimes misplace the bottle, and then I'll end up finding it like in the kitchen or something. So yeah, and then I'm using an almost full one. So I'm going to be taking one of my Project Pan cream eyeshadows. This one is the Revlon Bloom. And I'm basically just going to be taking this shade here and putting that all over the lids. And it's like basically the end of December. It's December, what day is it? 28th, I think. And I don't know, I've been craving like, I kind of wanted to do something spooky. I feel like I kind of missed out on doing Halloween content, because I wrote down so many like ideas I wanted to do like for videos, but time just kind of got away from me. I am an artist, so around the holidays I get like really busy, and it's just kind of the way it goes. But yeah, I've been kind of like editing all of my Halloween. I edited my second Halloween video that I did in October. And when I was done with that, I was gonna do like a Valentine's Day makeup look. And I thought, you know what? Why don't I just do something else? So I finally had time to watch the entire Welcome to Derry TV show on HBO. And I thought, you know what? Why don't I just do an It inspired makeup look, or Pennywise inspired, because that's actually one of my favorite shows, like of all time. So now that I have this on, I'm going to be taking my Le Mercerie eyeshadow palette, and this is from Dollar Tree. I think I'm gonna be taking this red shade here and apply that all over the lids. And this will just be kind of like a base color. But yeah, I just finished that show and I absolutely loved it. It was just as good as the movies. And I cried like towards the end of the show because one of the characters died in it, and I don't know, I just couldn't handle it. I don't want to say any spoilers in case you guys haven't seen it, but there's like a scene in there that just really got me. And it's funny, I've never really been a crier when it came to movies or TV shows because I don't know, I'm kind of weird when it comes to my feelings. I hate crying in front of people. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like as I get older, I feel like I tend to like cry more. And thankfully my husband wasn't around. I get like super embarrassed whenever I cry. And then I'm going to be taking this fluffy brush here and kind of blending that out. And then we're going to be taking my Stranger Things palette from Colourpop. And I'm going to be taking this dark red shade in Demagorgon. And I'm going to be applying that on the outer corners. And hopefully it will show up. Yeah, but that show was just so good. The storyline is like absolutely amazing, and I think they are going to come out with a season 2 and 3 from what I've been reading on Reddit, because I kind of want to know more about Pennywise. And I know they touched a little bit in the show about like his backstory, but I'm always left with wanting more. And I didn't want it to end because I'm just like obsessed with it. Like when I was 6 years old, that was when I first watched the original It. Yeah, and like growing up, I actually watched Stephen King movies. Like I would watch The Shining, Chucky, It, all of like the originals, including like Scream and other horror movies. And I was only like 5 or 6 at the time, and so was my cousin, but that would be our thing. We would go to my grandma's house and watch horror movies. And my mom would be super upset over it because I was actually really terrified as a child, but for some reason I enjoyed watching things that scared me. And I actually had like a lot of nightmares growing up. I don't think it had to do anything with the movies, but I don't know, maybe I'll talk about it in another video if that interests anyone. I'm actually going to just apply the dark red shade with my fingertips. But yeah, I have always loved Stephen King, and I just feel like he's just so creative with his stories and everything. And coming up, I have to rewatch the newer It movies because I haven't seen those in a couple of years. Oh, I really love this look. Then I'm going to be blending that color out. So I'm going to be adding some black to my outer corner, just to kind of darken that up. And then we're going to blend that out. So over the top, I think I'm going to be using this shimmery red shade in Hawkins. So I guess I'm really kind of like layering my eyeshadows on today, because I really want to create a really great red look. So I'm going to be taking my Revolution palette, and I'm going to be taking this, it's kind of like a strawberry red color in Tweets. I'm going to apply that to the inner corner to kind of brighten things up a little bit. And then I'm going to add more with my fingertips. Yeah, so I watched the entire series in just like, I think it was like about 4 days. And each episode is like an hour and a half long. And I tried to get my husband to watch it with me, but he's actually been pretty busy. And normally we watch our favorite movies together, like, or TV shows. Like right now we're in the middle of Wednesday, Stranger Things. We haven't seen the new one. There's also like 1 or 2 Scream movies that I haven't seen. It's the newer ones, and then some older Halloween ones. And there's like the newer Halloween movies we haven't watched. So we have a lot to catch up on, and our TV unfortunately like stopped working. Actually, no, the TV works, but it's our Xbox, because we don't have a VCR. We have been using our Xbox, and that completely stopped working. We just don't feel like replacing it right now. So I've been watching everything on my phone. Yeah, and we prefer watching our own shows on our phones, because it's just like, I don't know, like I feel like we do everything with our phones. I mean, our phones are like mini computers, so it just kind of makes sense. But hopefully we can get the Xbox fixed and we can start watching movies in the living room like normal people. So next I'm going to be taking this shade here in Hawkins. And this one is kind of like a bright shimmery red. This is the only one that I have that's like shimmery in my collection. I was going to use the red in my Nomad palettes, which I'll show that right now. I was going to use this red here, but this one's kind of like a maroon shade. It's not like a true red. Yeah, and I've been kind of like going through all my palettes to see if I can find a good red shade. I mean, I have a red shade, but I'm trying to use my older stuff. Yeah, I guess that's like the only red shade that I have at the moment. Yeah, so we'll just use that. So I think I'm going to be applying that all over the lids, but I want to start with the inner corner first, just to see how that turns out. So I'm just going to be taking a little bit on my brush. Okay, that's really pretty. Yeah, so I'm just going to apply that all over the lids. Okay, this red is amazing. I'm obsessed with it. And then I'm going to be taking my blending brush and just kind of blend that out a little bit. And then for my concealers, I'm going to be using 2 Be Pure products. This one is a hydrating concealer, and this is my oldest concealer right now. And then this time around, I'm just going to be blending out the concealer more towards like just under the eye. I always have a habit of blending concealer out way too far, like over my cheeks, and I don't know if that's just because whenever I film I'm like talking and I get distracted. And then we're going to be kind of keeping that contained to the middle of the forehead. And then for my foundation powder, I'm going to be taking my AOA Studio Soft Touch powder, and this is in the shade M1. And then under the eye, I'm going to be going in with that red shade again. And then on the outer corner, I'm going to be applying that shade and Demagorgon. And I'm just basically going to be replicating what I did on the top of the eyes. I'm going to be taking a matte black. And this is in my Cargo Cosmetics palette. And just apply that to the outer corner. This is a really good black shade. And I would have used the one in the Colourpop palette, but I'm trying to use up this palette. I'm going to take an angled brush and then apply the black to the outer edge of the eye. And then for my eyeliner, I'm going to be using my Colourpop eyeliner in the shade Joyride. And for the blush, I'm going to be taking my Revolution blush in the shade Pop My Cherry. And this blush is just a really beautiful, perfect red blush. And I'm just going to take that and apply that all over. And then I'm going to be taking my bronzer, and this is my Revlon bronzer. And then for my highlighter, I'm going to be taking my Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlighter, and this is in the shade Precious Petals. So then next, I'm going to be taking my LA Colors lip liner, and this is a black shade. And then this one is from the recent Halloween collection. And then I'm going to be applying a lip gloss. I'm going to be using the Remy Rose lip gloss. This has some subtle glitter in it. Alright, and then for my lips, I actually use 4 Dollar Tree products. I use my LA Colors lip liner, and this is just a black shade. This is from the Halloween collection. And then I honestly was trying to go for an ombre look, and I ended up editing that clip out because I moved my lips together like that, just out of habit, and I just kind of ruined what I was trying to do. So then I used my Beauty Intuitions Cocoa Lip Shade. And then to kind of make it more red, I used my LA Colors lipstick in the shade Just Bitten. And this is just a basically bright red color. And then over all of that, I put on my glitter gloss from Remy Rose. And this one I've had for a while. I got this at Dollar Tree a few years ago. Honestly, I think it was 4 or 5 years ago. So I've had this for a long time. But I just put that over the top. And then for my setting powder, I'm going to be taking my Proluxe matte setting powder. And this is also from Dollar Tree. So I've actually been wanting to do a all red makeup look for a while. I really like how it turned out, and I especially like the blush, and I like how I applied it in this area. I don't know what this is called, like the temples. I've seen some people do that in like some like get ready with me videos, and I thought I would try that. So if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you want to see more makeup tutorials like this. Remember to be kind, remember to take care of yourself, and remember to go hug your cats and your animals, your cats, your dogs, lizards, whatever you have. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.